I think that I've met somebody who talks more than me. At least she's been described as someone who started talking pretty much right out of the womb. Rhiannon K joins us, and she's written, just a compelling novel. A Rapture novel is actually the name of it. And Rhiannon, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about this first. Have you always had the gift of gab and storytelling?
Yeah, I guess you could ask my mom that one, but I do remember as a very young child being able to just gab away and tell stories and whatnot. And then one day I had a story idea. This is one of my earliest memories. I had a story idea, and I was too young to write because I wasn't in school yet. And so I ended up dictating it to my mom, and she wrote it down, and then I colored the animations for it.
Well, then it's perfect that you've written this novel. So what was it like putting the novel together? And again, Crescendo, a Rapture novel. What was it like pulling that story together?
Well, the opening scene was really easy, actually, which was where most of the time I struggle is with like trying to get that perfect opening scene, like I'll get like the ending or something, and then I ended up with the scene that opened it that actually closes it as well. So that was nice, 2 in 1. But that scene came really easily to me. Actually, the cliche of, something coming to you in a dream, that kind of happened. And then I woke up and kind of worked my way around it, and I woke up with this really cool intro. And then I started writing, and I just kept going, and then I finally got to a place where my brain was like, no, you can't write anymore. And so I had to stop and actually write out an outline, and then follow my outline throughout the rest of the book to be able to finish it.
Yeah. And we'll talk about this. Chloe is the main character in the book, and music is her life, and she has her dream shattered. She wanted to get into Julliard, and she was, rejected. So when that happens and her life goes in a different direction, that takes the story in a different direction, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's fun to watch that. It's fun to watch that journey. Is some of this from what you've seen around you? Some of this is based on moments in your life. As we look at the character and we look at, like you said, you start writing, it flows. You can't stop writing. Where did all this come from? Partly your imagination and real life?
Definitely a combo of just whatever swirls around in my head. And then definitely some of it was based off like real life, like it's set in college, and college was the best time of my life. Absolutely loved college. I'm a musician. She's a musician. I'm a writer. Her love interest is a writer. So I kind of drew off things that I knew would work. My friend who read the book said, she's like, I can just imagine this being us at the University of Idaho. And I'm like, yeah, kind of, because some of the campus names are made up from the university that we went to.
Right. It's funny. So, and you talk about that, you went to Idaho, or we know you went to Idaho, and there are little, what I call, sort of mile markers that you can see that. And you did get a degree in English creative writing and journalism and broadcasting. And what I think is really cool is that you also have a background in screenwriting. Would you like to see like this story or other stories that you do come to life on the screen?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this would translate to the screen. I actually did the exact opposite for the next book in this series. I took a feature film that I had written and translated it into novel format. So I kind of know the process of going back and forth. I mean, I've had to write a screenplay from a book before for my MFA. So I know the process of doing that. It would definitely be interesting to see somebody doing it, but I don't know who I would trust.
I like that. I don't know who I would trust. So tell us more about the story. How do you want people to, I don't know, react or feel after they read your novel? Because picking a novel and reading a novel and getting lost in a story from the writer's point of view, it's cool that people, I think that it's out there in the world and people will do that. But what do you hope they take away from it?
The big takeaway from Crescendo is that there's somebody out there for everybody, no matter how dark and twisted of a past you have, because both Chloe and Jesse have pretty twisted pasts that should make them incompatible for anybody, and they just happen to stumble across each other. And just knowing that you're worth everything that you desire in your life is just something that I want people to come away with from this book, because there's nothing else stopping you but you. So you've just got to be able to realize that and then move forward with everything. And then I think things will start to fall in place.
I like that. That's a great place to end this and to tell people that you can get the book on Amazon. But I want a sneak peek of your next one. Can you give us just a little morsel of what's coming next?
The next one's called Releve. Sticking with the musical theme here. It is about a dancer she is a prima ballerina, and she kind of falls into the dark side after being kicked off the stage, and I can't give you any more than that.
All right, tremendous. Again, pick this one up, Crescendo, a Rapture novel. You can get it, like I said, on Amazon. Thanks so much, Rhiannon.
Well, thank you.
All right, so I love that story about the dream sequence. That's why, just like she was talking about, Rhiannon was talking about how things came to her, and her friend even said, well, that seems like we were in the dorm in school. And I was thinking about the thing that really fuels me about stories and people telling stories. And I think it is so brave. In a sense, it's so brave when you have a story that's in you to get it out there. And I was looking at the statistics, and we look at last year, there were over 45.8 thousand writers and authors working in the United States. Now, that's working, right? That's up from the previous year and still a little bit higher than the figure that was recorded back in 2011. But see, the thing that's misleading is a survey that was done 2 years ago, I want to say, revealed that just 21% of full-time published authors made 100% of their income from books. The majority of writers pursue other writing-related activities on top of their book writing and other things that they do. But it's still, to me, and that shows you, again, how difficult it can be. But not making the excuse, and you have this story and you have an idea and you're excited about it, but then you just never get to the part where you write it down. And I am so proud of all the authors that we've had from the United States and from other countries, really since probably the start of the year. I call them high impact authors. High impact because if you impact one person, if you tell one story that allows them to escape, especially during the pandemic, then you're doing a good thing. Because somebody got lost in your story. Somebody got lost in the way you weaved the novel together, from how you hooked him at the start and you took him down to whatever was happening and then lifted them back up. And this does that. Crescendo, a Rapture novel, does do that. And I can't wait for her next one. But again, the fact that, okay, it's rattling around in my head, I'm going to do it. I do. How many times people think, well, I have a book in me. Do you have a book in you? And to me, again, the bravest thing is doing it, finding the time to do it. I know somebody that's written 50 books, and that wasn't even full time. It was a big chunk of time, but not full time job. And the 50 books are impressive. Her name's Diana Booher, and actually she's been a guest on the show. 50 business books. But business books different from that escaping into the story, which you can do with Rhiannon K. Thanks so much. The music means that I got to dance off the stage. To all of you for listening to this hour of the show. Remember, we're all in this together. Keep it tight, people.